us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order, show all council members are in attendance, and would entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Tonight we have a quick proclamation celebrating Arbor Day, City of Council Bluffs, Iowa Office of the Mayor proclamation. Whereas the City of Council Bluffs recognizes and supports the professional management of its urban forest, and whereas the City of Council Bluffs values the partnership with community organizations, corporations, and utilities in getting trees planted, and whereas the City of Council Bluffs recognizes the importance of trees and their contribution to the beauty and value of our homes, neighborhoods, parks, business areas, and to help nullify man's pollution to the environment, and whereas the City of Council Bluffs has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation for 29 consecutive years, and honored for its continual commitment to the professional urban forestry practices, in partnership with Council Bluffs Trees Forever, Mid-America Energy, and Black Hills Energy. Therefore, I, Matt Walsh, Mayor of the City of Council Bluffs, do hereby proclaim April 28, 2017 as Arbor Day in the City of Council Bluffs, Iowa, and urge citizens to plant and care for trees to support our community's forestry program with the seal of the City of Council Bluffs. And we'll be planting a tree in Bayless Park, I believe, Thursday. So, all right, tonight we have 4 public hearings. If you'd like to address the council on any of these matters, please step forward to the podium, give your name and address for the record. The first is a resolution 17-89. I'm going to do that over. This time and place for a public hearing is advertised on the matter of resolution 1789. A resolution approving the plans, specifications, form of contract, and cost estimate for the Police Department Headquarters project is proof of publication on file.
Yes, it is.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Is there anyone here tonight wishing to address the council in regards to this matter? Seeing none, what's the council's pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Just to point out for the public that while the plans and specifications are normally quite detailed, what the city staff has done is they've taken a couple of slide presentations and posted them to the main page of the city website. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, you'll see a police headquarters update site and a link there. And that'll provide you with some nice, pretty pictures and some layouts of what's planned in macro terms, so you can see what's going to be worked on over the next many months.
I'd just like to add to that the city hired project advocates to work on this project, and by doing so through value engineering, the estimated cost savings right now are at $600,000 or a little over. Now we'll see where those bids come in, but it's real hopeful that some of the value savings that they found will help to do some of the other things that we had to look at cutting back on in order to stay in budget. So really pretty pleased to see what project advocates were able to do on this.
Anything else? Yes, that was, if you'd step to the podium, give your name and address for the record, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, name's Richard Foster. I live at 406 North Sierra Drive. I was just curious, how was the location determined for the new police department?
I believe, and the police chief isn't here, I believe there was one group that were police professionals. Then they selected an 11-member community panel from all areas of the City of Council Bluffs. And the search was limited to a certain extent by the number of square feet they needed. I think they needed a minimum of 5 acres, and we ended up with 20, but most of that is unbuildable. A big percentage of it is, so that was reflected in the cost. But there was, and then the council looked at it in addition to that, and I think all three of the people that looked at it came up with that site as the preferable site.
My brother said there was some thought about renovating the old Washington School.
There was talk about that as a potential site. There was some thought put into the fact that it was a neighborhood that maybe needed some help, and that putting the police station there would work. The Council Bluffs School District decided they didn't want to sell that. They thought they may have future needs for it. And in fact, I believe they have a school in there right now. Children's Square, and then I think one of the schools is
They
using it
moved
from.
they moved
Yeah.
the Canesville Impact over there.
Yeah.
I would tell you that even with the school not wanting to give up the project or the property, I was still very much in favor of that until the research came in, and there was a main sewer line trunk that came through, and it wouldn't be Scott Street, it would be, I guess, Mill that runs along the north parcel, and it was going to be nearly impossible to move. The cost of that are the only thing that dissuaded me from that site.
Why would it have to be moved?
Because in order for the parcel to be large enough, we would have needed to take the block west, and we would have needed to be able to take it all the way across that side street, or we wouldn't have had enough land to do what we needed to do there, so.
Could it build the building over the top of the sewer line in case it had some defect or fault, and you'd have to get to the sewer line, you'd have to move the building, so.
Why 5 acres?
Well, one of the reasons was the current site, relatively small, no room for expansion. So they wanted the ability, one, to put an evidence area out there that they don't have now. We have evidence in about 3 different locations throughout the city. And then they wanted it to be large enough to support police operations today, but they also wanted it to be large enough that as the city grew and the need for expansion came about, they didn't have to start all over and build new again, that the area is large enough that it would suit expansion in the future.
Who's the current owner of the property that they're buying?
City Council Bluffs.
Who owned it before that?
Heartland Family Services, which is a nonprofit organization out of Omaha. The property was gifted to them by the Gindler family, who has done a lot of development in town, and they did most of the development on Madison Avenue and then up on Woodbury. Lee Gindler, who was the actual developer, died 10 to 15 years ago, and his wife, Carol, is not a developer, and so the land sat fallow for 15 years, and she gifted it to Heartland Family Services with the intent that it be used to build a school for students that struggle in a regular school environment, a therapeutic school. But Heartland Family Services ultimately bought the old DeForest School on 9th Avenue for that purpose, and so they didn't have a purpose for it after they bought DeForest, and so they put it on the market.
And what was the final price?
I believe it was $880, I think.
880 something.
So it was about $1.10 an acre, but I'm pulling that number out of the air, so don't hold me to it, for 20 acres.
20 acres at $800,000?
Yep.
A little more than $1 an acre.
You mean $1 a foot or?
Square foot.
Or square foot, yeah, not an acre, yeah. See,
say
I told you, don't hold me to it.
And there's only 5 acres of it that's actually usable.
No, that's not true.
No, 20 acres of it.
There's a little more than 10 acres that are usable.
10 acres are
Yeah.
usable.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and that was a square foot price, not an acre price. So, yeah. Anybody else? Anyone from the council? Do we have a motion yet? Yes. Yep. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. This time and place for a public hearing is advertised on the matter of ordinance 6289, an ordinance establishing the Valley View Urban Revitalization Area within the city of Council Bluffs. Is proof of publication on file?
Yes, it is.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Is there anyone wishing to speak to the council in regards to this matter? Seeing none, what is the council's pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. This time and place for a public hearing is advertised in the matter of ordinance 6290, an ordinance to amend Title 13 entitled Buildings and Construction by repealing Chapter 13.08 entitled Building Code in its entirety and enacting a new Chapter 13.08 entitled Building Code. Is proof of publication on file?
Yes, it is.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Is there anyone wishing to address the council in regards to this matter? What is the council's pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second. Sorry.
Any discussion?
Yes, on this particular issue, this would be something that we would want to make clear that anybody who had already started with the city through the process of having their plans approved and had already been meeting with the city would fall under the 2009 guidelines, with any new projects then coming under the 2015 guidelines. My original thought had been to delay this to a start date of later in the year, but this affects our ISO, which affects people's insurance. And so if you're building under the 2015 code and the city hasn't adopted it, you're not going to get the insurance break that you would have gotten. So I don't want to cause that to happen. So just putting in the minutes that the intent would be if you've already started through the process, you would not have to upgrade it to the 2015.
I concur with that intent.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign.
Given the fact that we're not amending or modifying the resolution, then it would be appropriate to waive third if my colleagues are amenable.
Agreed, yes.
Okay, so I'd so move.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. This time and place for a public hearing is advertised on the matter of ordinance 6291, an ordinance to amend Title 13 entitled Buildings and Construction by amending Chapter 13.06 entitled Residential Code. Is proof of publication on file?
Yes, it is.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Is there anyone wishing to speak to the council in regards to this matter? Is there a motion from the council?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Pose same sign.
I'll,
Oh, go ahead, please.
no, I was going to repeat the motion to waive third on.
And I'll second.
Any discussion on the motion to waive third? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Pose same sign. Mr. Wade?
Item 6A, ordinances on first consideration. Ordinance number 6292, ordinance to amend Chapter 15.16 C3 Commercial District by amending Section 15.16.020 Principal Uses to include tattoo parlors.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion?
Just that I had been approached by several people about the inability to have this type of business in a C3 and C4 zoning district. And I think that, as I can understand when it was originally enacted that there was a different take on tattoo parlors, but it's become very mainstream. And as we're looking to grow our community and young people and have young people stay in our community, this is a very mainstream business for them. And I think that there's really no reason, just like any other businesses, there's good businesses and bad, and it doesn't matter. A tattoo parlor is not just inherently a bad business. So,
And I'd agree in this day and age, this is something that it's heavily regulated. It's quite popular. I personally happen to be old-fashioned and don't much care for tattoos, but that's not the test. It's not what I personally like or dislike. It's popular, it's regulated, it ought to go into the places that people want to purchase it, so I'll support it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance 6293, ordinance to amend Chapter 15.17 C4 Commercial District by amending Section 15.17.020, principal uses to include tattoo parlors.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance for third consideration, ordinance number 6288, ordinance to amend Title 17 Housing by amending Chapter 17.01.010 definitions to amend paragraph 31 rental property to include additional members of a family.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Resolutions. Resolution number 17-85, resolution authorizing a joint application to the Iowa Economic Development Authority by the City of Council Bluffs and BC Homes LLC for Workforce Housing Tax Incentive Program benefits.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
Resolution number 17-86, resolution authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with KEV Lifeline for the purchase of a 2017 F-450 ambulance for the Council Bluffs Fire Department.
Motion to approve. Second.
Is there
ahead.
discussion?
You got that one.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Resolution number 17-87, resolution confirming the appointment of Brandon Garrett in the position of Director of Planning and Community Development with the City of Council Bluffs and approving the wage and benefit package offered to him.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there a discussion?
I'm particularly impressed, looking at Mr. Garrett's resume. I'm particularly impressed with the breadth of his background, and I particularly like the extensive background in neighborhood and other community-minded projects similar to residential areas, an area that means a great deal, I know, to many of us, including myself, and I look forward to welcoming him.
Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
Resolution 17-88, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a 2080 agreement with the Southwest Iowa Planning Council / Southwest Iowa Transit Agency to provide paratransit service under the city's special transit service.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there a discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Resolution 17-90, resolution authorizing an agreement with D&D Construction, Inc. for the demolition of buildings on State Orchard Road.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Resolution 17-91, resolution authorizing the city council to accept a 5-acre parcel of land from the Iowa Natural Heritage Foundation to be added to the Vincent Bluff Prairie Preserve, and authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Loess Hills Preservation Society to manage and maintain the property.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Applications for permits and cancellations, items A, B, and C.
Motion to approve applications for permits A through C.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Any requests to be heard? Anyone from the audience? Anyone from the council? All right, thank you. Have a safe week and enjoy the weather. It's going to be a little crisp, so.
All right, it won't be long and we'll be saying it's too warm out.
It's saying it's too warm. It's gonna get chilly again, isn't it?
I want it to be chilly.
You do.
I don't like 80. No, you can put on a sweater, Melissa.
No, I like 80.
Clothing I can take off before it gets uncomfortable for everyone.
80's good. It's like 95 where I
Yeah,
step out.
like high 70s, low 80s. I think that's good.
That's true.
80? No, it depends what you're doing.
Any place with
That's
palm
true.
trees
I would
is
tell
fine
you
with
that.
me.
I thought